Hello guys, welcome to another video, yet again talking about everyone's favourite gout-ridden wildebeest, Darksydephil. And, oh my god, today, I apologise, but it's going to be fucking boring. Which is a great way to start my video, and oh, come get bored with me. But, tough shit. I have to get bored, you have to get bored. That's what we're going to do today, we're going to get fucking bored with Phil and his shit storytelling. Oh, most of you, right, you probably already know what this is about, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to give you spoilers because I feel like knowing the end result is kind of makes this more interesting when you hear the build up to it. So, DSP was, his words, rhabbed. He rhabbed you guys on his day off, right? Now, he put this tweet out yesterday saying, I have a heck of a story to tell on tomorrow's podcast. Today I was rhabbed. It was not a big deal, and I'm fine. Just still pretty shocked that it happened. Plus, some good news, too. So, see you for the show, and then the premiere of the Super Mario RPG remake on the first stream. Excuse me. Right? So, he tweeted this bullshit out, and before any details are even given, right? Everyone is instantly like, oh, this is going to be bullshit. This is going to be a load of fucking bollocks. Like, using oh, I've been robbed, and then it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Someone pointed out the fact of how badly he kicked off when Burger King fucked up his order the other year, but getting robbed is no big deal. So right off the bat, you know this is absolute fucking bullshit. Anyway, so waited to find out what this air quotes robbery was. And of course, yeah, it was bollocks. Surprise, surprise. And fucking hell, sitting and listening to him talk about it is one of the most boring fucking things ever, and that's what we're going to live here today. Don't you click off the video, you cunt. You stay here and you get bored with me, you motherfucker. No, yeah, we're going to go through this and just... I don't even know. We're just going to go through this because apparently I don't value my time or yours. So, before Phil goes on for fucking ever about this stupid story, let me tell you the very summarised version of the robbery. Is basically, he went to a grocery store and he was shopping. He then put his shopping cart to one side and went, ooh, I'm going to get some cranberry sauce, you guys. Because he says you guys all the time. And then he walked away from his shopping cart to go get the cranberry sauce. And then in the time it took him to waddle to the cranberry sauce and back to his shopping cart, someone had stole his shopping cart. In the shopping cart was a bunch of groceries that he hadn't paid for. And some reusable bags. That's it. Some reusable bags were stolen from him. And he milks this for like 30 fucking minutes, this story lasts for. That was the robbery. So now, that little 10-second, 20-second, however long it took me to explain that, let's listen to Phil explain it now in really boring detail. And for the record, we're actually going to be watching Memology's video on this, rather than watching Phil's actual podcast video, because, like I say, it's over an hour, his fucking podcast episode. And also, in the title, he wrote something like, oh, I'm back, but I was robbed again? Question mark. What do you mean, robbed? Question mark. You're the one that said you were robbed, you stupid fucking greasy warthog. And now you're like, oh, it's robbed? Like, oh. Anyway, let's get started.
I have to tell you a story because, ladies and gentlemen, I have been robbed again. That's right, 2 times in 1 year. And I'll tell you the whole story. In addition to that, there is some good news. So I'd like to share that with all of you.
Why did he say that like a news fucking reporter? I was robbed again! And I will tell you the top story at the top of the hour. Also, Jasper needs cat treats. Like, what? Why? This is how fucking boring and mundane your life is, that this is actually news. It's so beyond fucking pathetic. Also, the fact that he's wearing these buttoned-up shirts now, making a big thing out of it, I have to say this. Obviously, Low Tier God, we all know Low Tier God got to him when he said that, you know, he basically looked like shit. And he started wearing these button-up shirts. Big coincidence, by the way. Well, do you own an iron, Phil? Like, because I know you're wearing your Zelda pajamas underneath this fucking, like, button-down shirt, but you need to iron these fucking shirts, man. You look like fucking you sleep in them. And you probably do, to be fair. But anyway, let's carry on.
Well, today, I got some stuff to tell you about. Now, just so you know, no, it's nothing absolutely horrible. Everyone is safe. It's not a big deal. I outright said as much last night when I posted up on X and also on the community page of this channel. I just said, hey, I got a story to tell you tomorrow. I basically got robbed again, right? And then what happens is when I say stuff like that, people absolutely freak out and blow it out of proportion and just make shit up.
Don't worry, guys. Everyone is safe. Oh, thank God everyone's fucking safe in the incident where someone took your unpaid grocery cart. Thank God nobody got hurt. Fucking hell. And then the audacity to be like, it's no big deal, I basically said as much, but people, of course, want to blow it out of proportion. You called this a robbery. You've blown it out of proportion. It's hilarious that you were like, oh, these people with their drama, you guys. I made a commitment to you guys to keep out of drama, and here you are saying that this is a robbery. Just using the word robbery is going to make people think the worst. Like I was robbed, referring to it as being robbed. Like, because most people wouldn't call this, like, being robbed. It would just be some boring fucking thing that happened. But to him, it's like this big dramatic thing that he's amped up. And then when his stupid brain-dead fans are, like, expecting the worst, he's like, oh, well, they're just hyping it up. Like, fucking dumb, man. All the detractors knew right away that you were talking shit, but, yeah, what do you expect from your fucking fans?
I can't stop people from doing that, but I tried to tell everyone right up front, it's not a big deal, everyone's alright, but people are stupid and probably hyped it up overnight anyway for no good reason.
The fucking audacity. People are hyping it up for no reason. Excuse me, what the fuck are you doing? You've hyped it up for no fucking reason. This is the very definition. You calling this a robbery is fucking you hyping it up. You said you were robbed with no other context. Of course people are going to be like, well, obviously the detractors knew straight away it was going to be bullshit, but your stupid brain-dead fans are going to, like, of course they're going to hype up and go, oh, I hope it feels okay, what's happened? They're not going to go, he's probably just had his shopping cart taken off him before he paid for his groceries. Like, no. Like, just because you said no big deal, you are hyping it up. It's so stupid that you used the word robbed. You were robbed in this story about the same way was if I was walking down a fucking crowded corridor and someone just nudged me a little bit with their shoulder, if I put a tweet out going, today I was assaulted, you guys. Oh, I was just walking down this corridor, you guys, and someone nudged me ever so slightly. Oh, I was assaulted. Like, it's exactly on par with that, you fucking ridiculous hippo.
If it didn't happen to me, I actually wouldn't believe it. So I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to me yesterday. And you might not believe it either. I don't blame you if you don't. But this is actually the state of things where I live. Okay? This is how bad things have degraded to the point where life is nonsensical at this point.
You'd think that he'd been fucking shot or something. Like, listen to him. This is how bad life has gotten around here, you guys. You can't even leave your shopping cart alone for a minute without someone taking it. Like, wow. This is how life is. It's nonsensical. This is why I told you guys ahead of time, because this is absolutely fucking stupid. And also, oh my fucking God, to go, if it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't have believed it. I don't even believe it if you guys don't believe it. What? Why would we not? It's such a boring story. Like, why would we not? Oh, no, I don't believe this. This is so far-fetched. As if someone took his shopping cart. Oh, yeah, pull the other one, mate. It's got bells on it. Like, what the? Yeah. Oh, it's so unbelievable. You'd have to have a pretty shit imagination if you made this up. In fact, if you have made this up, Phil, you fucking loser. You could have threw a car chase in there to make it more interesting. But no. I don't believe... Oh, if it hadn't happened to me, you guys, I wouldn't have believed it. Why? As if someone told me this story in real life, if I was able to stay awake through the duration of the story, my response wouldn't be at the end, you fucking liar. Oh, you're always exaggerating, you. Like, no. I'd probably fall asleep.
Okay. So, here we go. You ready? So yesterday, I went out during our day off, and it was another day at home. Because we actually have, coming up, we actually have quite a few days coming up where we're going to have lots of appointments and things. So we've decided to have a string of days off where we're going to stay home and relax. And then we're going to have our string of days where it's like several weeks where we have to go out every week to do a bunch of shit. Okay? So, this was one of the situations where we were staying home, but I had to go out to run my errands. Alright? Now, what errands do I run? Typically, grocery shopping, pet supply shopping, odds and ends. Sometimes I go to the garbage dump. You know, sometimes we'll have ordered something from a store and I go and I pick it up or something like that.
Jesus fucking Christ. What does this even add to the story? And why are you talking to your audience like they're fucking aliens? Like, you're basically just describing everyday shit that every other fucker in the world does. But you're acting like, what? Well, I live a very weird life, you guys. I have to go grocery shopping, and sometimes I have to go to the dump. Oh, wow. That's insane. Wow, what a crazy life you live, because the rest of us don't have to do those things. Like, but you do. Like, I'd understand going into detail like, well, I run some errands. Now, what errands do I do? And it's the most basic bitch shit that you're saying. I get if you live somewhere and you're like, well, as you know, guys, I live miles away from civilization, so errands for me are climbing mountains to go get firewood, or I have to go to the well, which is 5 miles from my house. Something like that. If those were your errands, you'd be like, fucking hell, God, this guy lives a very different life to the rest of us. But no, you're like, oh, I have to go get some food from the shops, you guys. Like, and who cares? And what does this have to do with the grand scheme of the story where you had your fucking shopping cart taken off you and you're making a podcast about it because you're a massive boring cunt and this is probably the most interesting thing that has happened to you since your fucking birth?
Basically, you know, it was not any day out of the ordinary. In fact, I was saying to my wife, wow, this will probably be a quicker day. I don't have too much to do today. So this should probably be a day where I'm in and out, you know, within maybe a couple hours. I have everything done. And then I can come home and we can relax together. Have a nice relaxing day together because we didn't have too much to do at home either. It wasn't like a day where we have a million things we have to do. We could sit back and relax and watch some stuff together, order some food, maybe have a drink tonight. You know, we're have a nice relaxing day together with the family. It's nice.
And when he says family, he means his wife and his pet cat, just to clarify. Again, what does this have to do with anything? And also, at the beginning of this, he goes, it was just an ordinary day. Right? He says this later on, and I find it really funny as well, because he's talking about this like, oh, it's just an ordinary day. It's not the sort of day I'd expect something crazy like this to happen, you guys. As if that, like, you'd go out in the morning and go, it's weird, there's something weird in the air. Something doesn't feel right today. What is it? Something's not right. And then later on, you get your fucking shopping cart stolen or whatever with groceries you haven't paid for, and you go, I knew something was different about today. It felt weird. It did not feel like a normal day. Crime was in the air. Why even mention that it was an ordinary day? Just fucking stupid. It's just padding. It's fucking padding. That's exactly what this whole thing is. It's just you padding a story that you could tell in 30 seconds that isn't even interesting, so you're just throwing in stupid shit.
So I went out, and I did all my errands. And the last thing I got to do is grocery shopping. Okay? So, you know, first of all, one thing about grocery shopping these days, and this is like everywhere I go, all the carts are always fucked up. I don't know why, but almost every cart that you get at any grocery store is completely fucked up. None of them go straight. They all like, they get fucked up.
Again, talking to his audience like they're aliens. I'm sure they've all been to grocery stores. Like, fucking, oh, when you go there, you ever noticed that the shopping carts are all in poor condition, you guys? What is this? Are you a stand-up comedian now? What are you gonna... What? Oh, look at this airline food. I don't know whether to eat it or to break the window in case of an emergency with it. Like, what is this? Stand-up now? We know. We've been to fucking supermarkets. We know that, like, a lot of my shitty trolleys. God.
So, it's just a chore grocery shopping to begin with, especially when you're loading up. This week, we actually had to get some extra stuff because Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, is next week, next Thursday. So there's a lot extra things that that I need to get for Thanksgiving and stuff like that, right? So, you know, I knew it was going to be a heavier shopping trip. There's going to be more stuff than usual or whatever. By the way, for full disclosure here, I do use reusable shopping bags.
Wow. Fascinating. You're such a complex guy. Oh, I use recyclable shopping bags. Oh, great. Brilliant. Thank you. Why did he say full disclosure? As in, that if at some point in the story he didn't mention it, we go, well, hang on, you've never fucking mentioned this at any point. Like, who cares? Like, oh, wow. Oh, I use recyclable shopping bags. Like, who gives a shit? So do I. Never thought to mention it. Like, because it just doesn't interesting at all. Fucking hell.
I used to not. And then, basically, right before the pandemic hit, I bought a bunch of these reusable shopping bags. And what I found is, man, it's easier when you got your groceries and you're carting them in and out of your house. Having the reusable bags just makes it easier. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it saves the environment. You can believe that if you want. I really don't give two shits because I really don't feel like my impact on the environment using shopping bags is that big. But I'll tell you this, it is way easier carrying your groceries around with reusable shopping bags than it is with those shitty plastic ones, okay?
Okay, if you say so. What is this? What the fuck is this? My brain has fucking melted. And also, I care about the environment, or like the environment. I don't really care. Yeah, man who goes outside doesn't care about the environment. Big whoop. This is so boring. Sorry to repeat myself, but I'm a bit fucking bored and annoyed. And not just that, right? Like just from behind the scenes stuff. I just lost a section of the commentary I've done for this video, so I had to re-record it. So if I repeat myself, I apologise because I might have said something that I thought that I'd said, but I haven't. I don't fucking know. And now I've got to listen to this boring fucking whale just keep going on about this, and it's so fucking stupid because... Sorry, I'm having a mini meltdown here, but I want you to appreciate this, right? If this happened to you or I, it would be no big fucking deal, would it? If I went out and this happened to me, and someone said, how was your day? And if I was to mention this, I would just go... Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but something annoying happened at the grocery store today. I did my shopping, my trolley was full, or shopping cart, whatever you want to call it, and I went to go get some cranberry sauce, and then when I came back, someone had took my shopping cart, and my reusable bags were in there. So it's a bit annoying, because I had to redo the whole shop again. That's it. That's it. Yet this fucking daffy, greasy-haired cunt has made a fucking 30-minute fucking show about it, because his life is so fucking mundane. Anyway, let's carry on.
So, I have a bunch of them, you know, and I have different kinds. I have, like, the ones that are, they're more like a plastic, almost laminate feeling to them, and they're kind of durable. You put your regular groceries in there, but then I have a couple that are, like, the heavy insulated, and they have, like box sides almost, and I have, like, 2 of those, and those are really, really good for your, like, cold stuff. You put them in, you could zip it up, and it keeps your stuff nice and cold. Nothing, you know, melts in your trunk or anything like that.
Is he fucking sponsored by reusable bags? I thought he wasn't a paid shill. What is he going on about? I got the insulated ones. They're really good for your cold stuff, you guys. Oh, you don't want to get any cold stuff in your trunk? Shut the fuck up. What the hell is this? It's insanity. This is fucking insanity. The people have turned up. You've like got people actually watching your podcast to listen to a robbery story, and here you are going, oh yeah, I got all kinds of recyclable bags, you guys. Oh, the insulated ones, the non-insulated ones, tall ones, fat ones, skinny ones. Shut the fuck up, you boring. Do you go off like this in real life to people? I can't imagine having a conversation with this guy in real life. He's talking to you and he's telling you this story. I don't know, I would say I'm a pretty polite person, but I would think that at this point by now I would have said, will you shut the fuck up? Shut the fuck up! Like, I fucking would. It's just so fucking boring. Jesus Christ, what a boring cunt.
And I just bought those earlier this year, I believe off of Amazon. So some of these are on the older side. Some of these are many years old, these reusable bags. I've been using them, again, since, like, pandemic era. And then others are more newer bags. So, just for clarity purposes, because I want you to have the entire perspective of what happened, okay? Got my shopping cart. I got my reusable bags in front of me in the shopping cart. There's actually a drink caddy in the cart, and my phone fits perfectly in there. So what I do is I have a list app in my phone, and I use that to track what I need for shopping, and I usually just pop my phone right into the drink caddy, and I check off on my list as I'm grabbing stuff and putting it in the car. Check it off, and that's how I shop.
Oh wow, there he goes, being an innovator again, fucking hell. Oh, I shop with a list. Wow, crazy. It's like when he was saying earlier this year about when he was watching Review Bro, and he was like, oh, he does my style, you guys. He points the camera at himself and uses the preview screen to watch what he's doing. I'm such an innovator, I'm using a list. Who cares? Like, loads of people use a shopping list. Also, at the beginning of this, where he's going on about, I got these bags from Amazon, some of them have had for a while, some of them are new, some of them pre-pandemic era, some of them, why do your fucking, and this is like when he reacted to my pot noodle video, and I said, he points at things, and he gave an origin story about why he points at things. Now he's given an origin story for his recyclable bags. Does he have an origin story for fucking everything? God, you're like some boring fucking Marvel executive, like making some really tired fucking movies. Oh, this character needs an origin story. The pointing needs an origin story. The reusable bags have an origin story. Does everything have to have an origin story? And I love the way he says as well, going, full disclosure, this is, just want to clear it up, I want you to have the full picture. How much of a full picture do I need to hear this story? How much? What are you going to say next? Like, oh, I was facing to the north. There was a breeze coming in from the east, and the sun was about... Shut the fuck up, man. It doesn't matter. These are all minor fucking details. You're not writing a fucking Stephen King novel, and we need to have it pictured in our mind. Jesus Christ. All the story is you losing a fucking shopping cart full of fucking gin, and I don't know what else, pizzas and whatever else. I can picture that shit.
It's pretty convenient, okay? So, my normal day, I start usually into produce, get the produce out of the way.
Why does he say it like that? Normal day, I like to start on the produce. Yeah, I like to start on the produce. It's just what I'm feeling, you guys. I start on the produce. Maybe if I'm feeling a bit reckless, a bit wild, you guys, maybe I'll start the canned food. But for the most part, just a normal day. So I'll start the produce. Why are you saying it like that? Like, fucking... It's so weird. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Most people, like myself included, would probably just start by the entrance and then work their way to the other side of the store and then go to the checkout. Maybe, like, you'd go to the frozen foods last because, you don't want your food defrosting while you're going around. But Phil's feeling the vibe. He's like, am I going to the produce? Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the produce. Because, get that out the way. Yeah, get it out the way, because it's the most difficult part of the shopping, isn't it? Once you've got the produce out the way, it's all downhill from here, isn't it? It's an uphill battle buying the fruit and veg. Well, actually, for this hippo, it probably is, isn't it? It is probably a painful experience, so he likes to just get it out the way, so he can focus on buying the gin and whatnot.
And then I move into the store, you go from the dry goods into the other stuff, and the cleaning supplies, meats, and then you finally get to, like, the dairy and the bread and everything. So, normal day, nothing crazy. I think we got pumpkin pie, because we want a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, so that's an extra thing. Some rolls. We're freezing so that we can actually have some rolls on Thanksgiving. Stuff like that. Cranberry sauce. Bought a couple cans of cranberry sauce, in addition to our usual meals for the week.
Now he's telling us what he's actually buying. Why? Because it's relevant. If you don't know what items he's buying, then the story won't make sense. Because you need to know that he's buying a pumpkin pie. Because when he gets to the part of the story where he tells you, oh, and then they stole the shopping cart, you guys, you're going to go, well, how? How did they steal the shopping cart? Because you never bought a pumpkin pie. If you'd bought a pumpkin pie, then I can understand. But no one steals a shopping cart without a pumpkin pie. So he has to tell you that he's bought a pumpkin pie. Because then the story makes sense. You go, I see why they stole the shopping cart. You bought a pumpkin pie. Oh.
But anyway, so as I'm shopping, it doesn't seem like it's anything of a little bit of an abnormal day or anything. Maybe there's a few more people in the store because it's the week before American Thanksgiving. But it doesn't seem like there's anything weird or anything.
Again, he said it again, this is what I was saying, like, it just seemed like a normal day, you guys. Like, there was no sense of crime in the air. I didn't have any kind of, like, spidey sense or gouty sense that, today I think I'm going to be a victim of a crime, you guys. If he had, like, I knew something was up. I sensed it, you guys. The fucking, I knew. When I got up this morning, I'm going to be a victim of a crime. I can smell it in the wind, yeah. The Seattle air is a little off today, you guys. Like, as if anything would be any different from any other day, just because you got your fucking grocery cart of unpaid goods, like, taken. Fucking hell.
So, basically, I'm shopping. It takes me about a half an hour, I would say, to grocery shop. So I'm finally at the end of the shopping trip. My cart is almost, packed to the top. And I've got a few things left. I've got bread, a few dairy things I need to get. And, it was the cranberry sauce. That's right, it was the cranberry sauce.
God, it's like listening to an old woman, innit? Or some fucking, person trying to tell you about a dream they had last night. It's just so fucking uninteresting and boring. And yet, this is the topic of a podcast. People tune in for this. Jesus Christ, have people really got nothing better to do?
For Thanksgiving. And, that's something I don't normally buy, right? So it's on my list, and I didn't know where it was in the store. And I'd gone up and down the aisles, and I hadn't seen it, which is a little weird because the week before Thanksgiving and I can't find the cranberry sauce. So typically what happens is, if you can't find it in the aisle and it's something for a holiday, it means they idiotically put it on an end cap. Like, they probably have like a highlighted area of the store where it's like on the front of one of the aisles. But the dumbest thing about that is, if you're shopping, where are you looking for the item? Where it should be in the aisle. Oh, well, we don't have it there now. We have it only on the end cap because it's a holiday. But then how are you supposed to fucking find it? You didn't put it in the aisle it's supposed to be in.
Again, talking to his viewers who are apparently aliens, they've never been to a supermarket. They have these things on the end cap, you guys. Yes, most people have been to grocery stores. We've all experienced this. Fucking hell. And most of the time, I don't know if it's the same in America, but in England, they have them on the end cap, but they also have them in the aisle where they normally are. So what's the betting that this fucking greasy moron just missed them? Like, fucking hell. Who? So stupid. And obviously, you knew they'd be on the end cap. Like, because you said you had the presence of mind to think that they might go there, and go and check. You know what would have made things easier? If they put them in the produce, you know? Because most people, they like to start at the produce, keep the cranberry sauce with the produce. I mean, it's a fruit, innit? So, you know, keep it at the produce.
Right? And they do this all the time. I don't know why, but they think that they're smart or something, right? So anyway, I am in this area where they have like refrigerated soups, dips, hummus, stuff like that. And basically the only thing left, like I said, if I went a little bit to my right, there was the aisle with some dairy-like cheese, and then there was bread. So that's all I had to do to finish shopping. But it hit me, I was like, oh man, I gotta get this cranberry sauce, because I'm gonna grab it now, I'm gonna forget about it, right? Let me just go grab it. It's gotta be on an end cap, right? So, I'm not stupid, alright? I grab my phone to make sure I don't leave it in the cart, because man, I'd be a fucking moron if I left my expensive phone in the cart.
Yeah, you'd have to be a complete moron to leave your phone in the fucking cart. Jesus, all the fucking... Your WWE Champions account is on there, man. Imagine if he lost that. He would be fucking... This would be a completely different story, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be just vibing down by the produce. It would be like, I will find you, and I will kill you. Down for the rafters will rise again. It's like, fucking hell. Of course he took his phone. There's no way he'd risk that. And also, he goes on to say this, but... The fucking shopping cart's on wheels. Why don't you just wheel it with you? I like the way he says his location. I'm in an aisle. It's got the hummus, you guys. What? Who cares? Like, oh, you didn't leave your cart by the hummus, did you? Oh, that's crime central around there. All the criminals eat hummus. God, what a dangerous place to leave your shopping cart. Fucking hell. Also, at the beginning of this clip, when he said about he was saying they're idiots for leaving stuff on the end cap or whatever he calls it, right? I love the fact that, like, they're obviously doing it to try and sell this product. They're like, hey, it's Thanksgiving, we're going to sell cranberry sauce. We put it at the end cap, it's going to catch people's eye. It's like a business move. And this idiot, who's like fucking bankrupt and begs people for money, is basically going, they're obviously fucking idiots. Yeah, of course, because you know so much about business. Fucking hell.
Right? So I grabbed my phone, I put it in my pocket, and I said, alright, so I'm going to be walking away to grab cranberry sauce, come right back, then push the cart to the end aisles and finish my shopping trip. Now, you might say, well, why did he not take the cart with him? Because, like I said, the carts in these fucking grocery stores are junk. They barely work. My cart's full. So why am I going to push my cart across the entire store to look for cranberry sauce just to push it back to where I was to shop again? I'll just leave it here for a minute, right? Now, why on earth would anyone think that something would happen? Right?
Dude, you're so fucking lazy. He's acting like as if moving his shopping cart from one end of the store to the other is like moving a boulder or something. Well, mind you, he is a fat bastard, so it probably was loaded with fucking food. But still, like, are you that fucking lazy? I would move it just on the principle that I'd be worried that if wherever I left it, I could be in someone's way. Like, and, you know, I'd be like, I don't want to be an arsehole. But then again, you are a massive arsehole, so you'd be like, oh, who gives a shit if I'm in someone's way, you guys? I'm the most important, I'm the fucking main character, so who cares? Like, I'll just leave it here. Like, just take it with you, you lazy cunt. You only leave the house, like, once in a blue moon. You know, heaven forbid you get a bit of fucking exercise.
So, I literally walk away from the cart to find this cranberry sauce. I timed it, actually. It was 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I found the cranberry sauce on an end cap. There it is.
He timed himself getting the cranberry sauce. What the fuck? To borrow one of his little sayings, I want you to think about this. He stood at his shopping cart and he went, right, I'm going to go grab the cranberry sauce. He then what? Pulls out his phone or looks at his watch and goes, right, go! And then fucking times himself like he's doing a speed run to get the cranberry sauce. And then looks at it and goes, 2 minutes, bang! Why? Why did you time yourself? What was going through your head? This is stupid that you timed yourself, and how funny that it took you exactly 2 minutes. It wasn't 1 minute 57 seconds or anything. It was bang on 2 minutes. A new record from the hummus to the cranberry sauce. I've set the Seattle record, like from the hummus cranberry sauce marathon. You guys, like, what a fucking loser.
I grabbed it. All right, we got the cranberry sauce, right? I turn around. I come back. I was not gone for longer than 120 seconds. I come back, and there's no cart.
Ah, see? You're too busy dawdling. If you took 118 seconds, I bet you would have caught him, and you could be like, hey, what are you doing? But no, it took you 120 seconds, which, to be fair to you, is a new record, because apparently you do this often, to the point where you're timing yourself. Oh, right, trying to break my record from hummus to cranberry sauce. Like, well, maybe you'll move a bit faster next time, won't you? Because, you know, that gives... In fact, the guy probably knew. He was probably spying on Phil, looking at his cart, and he's like, right, he's leaving the hummus now. I've got a good 120 seconds to take this cart and get out the door. It's a planned fucking precision job. The guy knew. He had his timer on as well. He's like, 120 seconds to get this bad boy out. I think you were set up, man. People will know. People have heard about your speed runs that you've been doing in the fucking supermarket.
And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, someone must have moved it. Maybe I was blocking something that someone wanted, right? So I start looking around. I'm like, okay. And then I think to myself, you know what? It's probably over one aisle over. I'm probably misremembering where I left this cart. I thought I had left it right next to the hummus, but maybe I left it in the next aisle over. I look over there. There's nothing there, right?
You can just imagine, kind of, the way he's, like, saying all this. Like, anyone else would just go and ask a member of staff and go, hey, I left my shopping cart here. Any ideas? Did any of you take it? Like, and if they're like, no, you'd be like, oh, man, I guess someone took it. Like, that's it, wouldn't you? But he's like he is in games, and he's probably like, what? Huh? He's probably stood in the aisle doing that, going, yes, yes. So I left my cart here at the hummus, and it's gone. Doing his Popeye laugh. Yes. Like, dude, fucking, why does it take you so long? Like, honestly, man.
And I'm looking all around, and I'm like, huh? What is going on? So now I'm starting to think, all right, maybe an employee grabbed the cart thinking it was an abandoned cart from a customer that had just decided to leave, right? But I'm thinking, no, an employee wouldn't think that. I got my reusable shopping bags in the front of the cart. And by the way, again, I got to reiterate, these are not brand new reusable shopping bags. These are not valuable. You know, you can buy these online for a few bucks. This is not like, oh my God, there's $200 of fucking bags in this cart or anything like that. It's nonsense. It's nothing of any real value.
Nothing of any real value. That's something it has in common with this entire fucking story then, isn't it? And why did you... So if this is what you think, like, oh, it's just a shopping bags, you guys. They're nothing of any value. So why have you made a whole thing about them being stolen? Because that's all that's been stolen off you. You said you've been rhabbed, but you haven't. Because you're saying these shopping bags have no value, other than I guess they have sentimental value, the way you're going on about them. But the shopping that you lost, the groceries, you hadn't paid for. So basically, they robbed the store. Like, all you've been robbed at is some of your time, I guess. Which, I know you think's really valuable, but I mean, you beg 12-year-olds for fucking money on stream, so it's not that valuable. So, why are you... To reiterate, it's not that important. Like, well, why have you made a massive podcast about it then, you fucking idiot?
Right? So I really start just looking around, and I'm like... So now in my head, I'm thinking, could someone have been like... I mean, maybe it's an elderly person, and they're just confused. And they grabbed my cart because they're just... You know, who knows what it could be. So I said, I'm going to walk corner to corner in this store. By the way, so I have cranberry sauce in my hand. Because that's all I have. Because I went to grab it. I was going back to the cart. That's all I got is cranberry sauce.
Oh, wow. You had to walk corner to corner in the store, and you had cranberry sauce. Like, fucking, like that has any bearing on anything. Oh, by the way, I'm standing here with the cranberry sauce like an idiot. Like walking around with a little jar of cranberry sauce is going to make oh, what are you, the world's strongest man? Like it's some inconvenience to be holding a small jar of cranberry sauce. Like, fucking hell. What does it even matter? Also, I love the fact that he's like, anyone else would have just, at this point, just moved on with their life. But no, he's there like, well, maybe it was an old person. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. Why are you giving this so much fucking thought? Why don't you just move on with your fucking shit day? Like, why? And it's funny that he speculates all these things, because this is what he does with everything, isn't it? You hear him go, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, and eventually he just picks something in his head that's like basically fact, and then he'll just say it over and over again, and then that's now the law. So, you know, this is the law of what happened. Like, this is how his brain fucking works. Like, Jesus Christ.
So I start walking, and I look down every aisle, and I realize as I get to the end of the store, it's not in the store. It's like someone, when I went to grab cranberry sauce, grabbed my cart and walked out the door with it.
He's built, this is the payoff. He's built up, I think how long he's been talking, right? He's built this up, and this is the fucking payoff. In his mind, he thinks everyone's jaws are dropped like, no. Someone, what? Fuck off, no. Did you call the police? Like, oh my god. You walked around like a fucking asshole, holding fucking cranberry sauce, going, maybe it's at the produce, just trying to fucking find this cart, which is blatantly gone. Just go and ask an employee. If they ain't got it, it's gone. And then just fucking take the L and reshop. But no, you've made this big... I bet instantly he was like, ooh, I can use this for the podcast. Even though he hates drama. And he's a massive drama queen. But he's like, oh, this will be great. I bet he was on fucking Twitter or X or whatever right there and then going, I've been robbed, you guys. I bet he put that tweet out before he even fucking called Kat. But he was like, oh, this is going to be good for the podcast.
Now, I want you to think about how weird this is. Okay? First of all, no, I didn't pay for my groceries yet. So it's not like, oh, I got robbed of you know, hundreds of dollars or anything like that at all. That's not the point here. The point is someone just took the cart, right? What really did they steal from me? The reusable bags. Is it a big deal? No, of course it's not.
Then why are you going on about it? Why are you talking about it like it was the fucking heist of the century or something? Like, you're talking about it like it's some sort of fucking epic movie, because it's the most interesting thing that's ever happened in your mundane life, when for most people it wouldn't even register as a fucking talking point. It's beyond boring. It's like so boring that it, well, I guess it's so boring it belongs on your podcast. And you go, oh, I've just lost some money for the bed, you guys. Yeah. Like what? What'd you say, a couple of dollars? Who gives a shit? Think about in the grand scheme thing, how many dollars you've scammed off of people over the years. The whole Project 7, people that donated to see you potentially go away to do a teaser trailer for Project 7, to maybe do Project 7 again, and then you didn't bother doing anything. You just took the money. No refunds. Like, that's worse than you just losing a couple of reusable bags. I mean, if the story was, say you got the reusable bags and you just misplaced them, would you be mentioning it on the podcast? No, because they're not worth much. Who gives a shit? But here you are, talking about this, because this is going to be, like, if you did the story of your life, it'd be like, Phil Burnell, born. Second point. Some robbed at a shop for some reusable bags. Third point, dead. Like, that's it. It's the only notable thing that you've ever done, apparently. Like, the way this is going on, like, fucking hell. Of course, I exaggerate. We all know that he invented the Let's Plays and invented cameras and all this other sort of shit. So, you know, but it's not news, is it? It's not fucking news. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I've got to be honest, I'm just bored. The whole thing is just so fucking boring. But we pretty much covered everything that he goes on. All that he says now is he goes, oh, I did tell an employee, you guys, and he told a member of staff, and they said to him, yeah, what most likely happened is that someone has stole it. And then he told the story again to another member of staff at the checkout. So 2 members of staff had to listen to this boring fucking story. And yeah, then the guy at the checkout just said to him, yeah, it's probably been stolen, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, that's it. And he thought that this was worthy enough to then go, look, guys, on Twitter, I've been robbed. And then make a big story about it. Because that is how how boring his fucking life is. And there you have it. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you. What are your guys' thoughts on it? Did you find it interesting? You just know as well that he probably thinks that people always tell me I'm a really good storyteller, you guys. I bet he thinks that. You can just see it. But yeah, he's so boring. What a life he leads. Anyway, yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope you got some sort of enjoyment out of this video. Yeah, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.